No, this is
As
village. This is
you-
village.
Oh,
Village.
sorry, village. Yeah, my bad. The meta for village right here is actually goats or
Yes.
a pharmacy. So we do see the Taiwanese squad bringing goats to the table. Of course, they still have a lot of time. They can change this anytime they like. But it looks like both teams are more or less locking in the composition that they will look to play for village. What do you think of
And-
the composition, Daks?
I would just say, actually, the history of Nepal Village predates goats. Back in the day, Nepal Village was actually known for that map where you ran the 4 tank 2 support lineup back in the middle with Roadhog. So it's honestly it's the father of goats in terms of map geometry. And as you were saying, gonna be R.W.G running the goat squad in this one. On the other hand, we have Team XP gonna have the Reaper. Interesting.
So actually running a variation of goats as well. They have at least 3 tanks. I consider Mei a tank, and Mei and Reaper are characters that you are designed to beat out goats. So it does look like compositionally XP has the upper hand, but not by much, because goats, regardless, is a very strong composition that can face off against anything.
So unfortunately for us on the spectators, and we have a little higher ping than usual, but that's the nature of the Asian service. But let's go into the game. Here comes the jump in for the R.W.G. They go for the charge, get onto the point. Viguro getting taken down by Alter Ego already. Control point just being activated. Can R.W.G actually keep this up in the face of all that frost coming out from Cruzy? He gets taken down, and Team XP has to concede the point.
And this, you can see how they took out the Xayah, but it just wasn't. They wanted to take out the Xayah because they have the Ice Wall, but they didn't have enough damage. And the moment the Ice Wall came down, the Taiwanese squad, R.W.G, just hit back so hard, so fast, and just haul into the composition that Team XP was bringing to the table.
Team XP now switching things over. Gonna be Cruzy on the Pharah, MNX with the Mercy. Gonna be his classic pick. And now Cruzy going for a few shots here and there, looking for an opportunity to strike. On the other hand, we have R.W.G in the backline. Shatter is available for Hideyak. He's making some space here, just trying to get away from Shun, not allowing Team XP to rip the tanks apart. And gonna be the contest. Shatter comes in with the speed boost from Fitzir. Coalescence comes out from Shake him, trying to shake off all the damage and just healing up his team as they move on in. Perfect speed boost there from Fitzir. And Shake him just taking care of Judge, even staggering the Moira.
And I hope you guys saw how beautifully the R.W.G played that composition. He hit on the side, didn't step on the point, he just contested. Because if you have Goats comp, you don't need to always contest the point. Wait to the last second, use the speed boost, and get right into the meat of Team XP with the speed boost. That they don't have a Lucio, you can bypass the shield and go for the clean shatter. And look at your ultimate discipline. They keep the rally, they keep the graviton, and they still have so much resources for the next fight. So great play there by R.W.G is going to keep them fight. Is going to have them as a favorite winning the next fight.
DJ Destino gonna go for the Graviton Surge. Fatir trying to charge up the Sound Barrier, will it make it? Altivia, Beguru gets to hit the charge. What the guy, he doesn't even fall down. Perfectly calculated charge there from Team XP. Probably getting a ruler in one of those scrims and just playing like, okay, you can charge from here and you'll reach there. Really smart play there from Beguru.
So the DJ Destiny using the Graviton will be locking up the point, will be controlling the point now. It's 78% to 17%, so they can't be too disappointed with the results. However, we have the Xayah from R.W.G with his own Graviton, and they have Coalescence to follow up. Oh, the Diva Bomb all the way to the back. He's gonna get shielded by Beguru, but it's not gonna be enough. It's just gonna be too much damage.
For Team XP, losing 3 so far in this fight. Judge floats on in just to get taken down by an Eye Orb. Team XP taking control. Look at that combination there. Team kill going away and Hideyak with 2 at the end. Let's just check that out one more time. Good Graviton Surge, locking down the Mercy of Eminence, putting away the oncoming Valkyrie, and now the point just so close to be taken here by R.W.G. Cruzy with the Riptire, Sound Barrier in response, but still a little too early here from Fitzir. Cruzy can make this walk out, and he gets 2. Like I said, way too early. When you see hear a Riptire rather coming on in with the Lucio, use the Sound Barrier when you have line of sight of it. Not that early. Team XP right now trying to get back to the point. Fitzir just going for the contest. The Zarya just charging up as well. 100 energy, but low HP will lead to his demise. Team XP now getting the retake.
So Shun actually paired up his Death Blossom along with the Great Shatter that Buguro brought to the table. The thing was that just wasn't enough damage, but Cruzy with his Riptire using it as a follow-up after the Sound Barrier already finished in its usage will clinch the 2 kills required for Team XP to control the point.
Because now gonna float on and using up the micro missiles, charging up the Self-Destruct as much as he can. Begura really low, forcing Judge to go for the Transcendence to keep their main tank topped up. In the meantime, Cruzy getting free reign to go for the Riptire charge. The Illusion though was trying to beat a Bane, and here comes the Riptire once again, gets rid of Alter Ego, not allowing T-Armor to be topped up onto the rest of R.W.G. But speaking of gonna be a top play, Graviton Surge comes out and shaking that tree. Fuzz with a death Self-Destruct rather at the back. Shun gets one with that Death Blossom, but it's not enough. R.W.G. sealed the deal here on Village 100 to 76.
So Team XP composition's just a little bit too slow because they don't have the Lucio in the table. They do have a lot of damage, and you see Shun and Cruzy doing so much with their ultimates, with the Death Blossom, with the immense amount of damage that Reaper brings to the table, along with the Riptire that Cruzy keeps using. Look at how fast he got, look at how fast the man got his Riptire. He got it in like 20-25 seconds, and he got his next Riptire, actually got Alter Ego. But with the Graviton, with the Sound Barrier, I mean with the Speed Boost, they have a lot more mobility. R.W.G. is just spinning around the map, out-positioning Team XP and using their position, their superior position to follow up after the Graviton that they keep using again and again to clinch the fight.
Honestly, this reminds me of back in the day why Lucio couldn't be changed out. The best way to counter Speed Boost was Speed Boost. And this is the situation now. They have Eminence moving on to the Lucio, but actually moves back to the Mercy, just using the initial speed boost for the position here for Team XP on control. Shrine will be the name of the map, and it's R.W.G. already offering up their bodies to the point.
So Team XP now with the position that they wanted, spreading out across the point, having a flank. But look at this, Goats know that they don't have, Team XP doesn't have a Lucio, so they will speed boost towards the Zen and the McCree and push them out of the point, even getting judged in the meantime. But Burger now to get taken out. Back to spawn, my friend, back to spawn.
Honestly, I love how R.W.G. plays this. They are allowed to use the speed boost so much due to the fact they move on in with the Bio Orb, with all the healing from the Moira, perfect bubbles as well as defense matrix timings. It's like they're such a coordinated ballet from the R.W.G. squad. And look at this, Coalescence and Earthshatter are available already this early into the game.
From the contender side of things, we do have Lucio being used at the top level of play a lot more now. Lucio is literally used in 50% or more of the matches you play, in the scrims you play, and this is exactly what R.W.G. is doing. They know that the Lucio is strong, they will go for the Shadow, and remember, they don't have Speed Boost. XP doesn't have Speed Boost, so Bagru could... all he needs to do is use the Speed Boost, go past Baguru's shield, and go for the Shatter. There is no counterplay to a fast-moving Ryan. There is absolutely no counterplay if you don't have a Lucio.
Yeah, there is only one other alternative that you can do. You have the McCree there for Shun, get the flashbang on in, but he's more likely gonna be protected by a bubble or the defense matrix, not allowing the crowd control abilities to actually work out. Now we do see a rally here from Alter Ego, Team XP just holding on to the bottom of the staircase, but this looks like a literal uphill battle here for Team XP. R.W.G. Oh, it's gonna be a Graviton onto the backline, Deadeye onto one, Fatir gets taken down, putting the speed in relative coordination for both teams. Graviton Surge doesn't really get much here for Team XP, but they just want to take the win right now, getting 4 so far. The hands of Cruzy ready with the Dragon Strike as well. A lot of ultimates there being used by Team XP. A pretty desperate assault in this situation.
And they will win the fight. I mean, it's gonna be slow, but it's more or less confirmed that they will be taking out the D.Va the fast and hence winning a fight. There's still a Lucio on the point, however, so they will be trying to beat down the Lucio. Laser the Lucio from the top of his perch.
Finally
but
gets
the thing
taken
is,
down. Yeah.
The thing is, Daks, at what cost did they win the fight? I don't think DJ Destiny should have used his Graviton then. I think they already won the fight. It was a 6v3. You didn't need to use the Graviton, and DJ Destiny using the Graviton then will mean that they don't have a Graviton for the subsequent fight. And look at the percentage of control. It's 99%, 97% rather, to 13%. This is going to be a very painful fight because they don't have that graviton that they should have kept.
And honestly, R.W.G has two ways to go about it. They can just try to win it now, or they can just force Team XP to use so many ultimates. Self-destruct though being launched onto the right-hand side. It gets Shun. The McCree mistiming when he's gonna roll on out. Eminence getting the rest. Here comes the speed boost, and once again, Hideyak slamming the ground, getting the shatter, putting the stairs up and about. Eminence now gets a fire strike to his name. Those red wings can't keep up with the heat. R.W.G gonna take the win here on Nepal, unless there's a way Team XP can make it. No Lucio means no chance, and that's gonna be R.W. taking the first map here on our series.
I mean, compositionally, it did look at the start that XP was prepared for Goats, but my friend, Goats is meta right now, even with Reaper, even with Farah, even with Hanzo, because Goats is that strong. Even if you run Projectile, there's no guarantee that you will win. There's no guarantee that you can get a good enough retire or a good enough barrage to win, to actually win the point. So I think going to the next match, if XP wants to play counter Goats, if they want to counter Goats with their composition, they need to play more Farah.
So welcome back, guys, and we are on game number 2. So we are going to be seeing Watchpoint Gibraltar, interesting enough.
Yeah, I do like Watchpoint Gibraltar. That this is a pure dive comp, so I don't think we will see Goats any longer. Unless that's what R.W.G is going to play. Unless that's the only comp R.W.G is going to play. R.W.G is going to play. I don't think we're going to see a Goats from either of these teams. So going to this map, I hope to see a more meta, because these two teams are tryhard teams. Alright, let's face it. These two teams want to win. These two teams are aiming for playoffs. They're not playing this as casually on a weekend night. They scream, they practice, and they practice every week. So they will need to play more meta here if they want to make it to the playoffs. Because even if after you make it to the playoffs, the other teams will be playing meta. So if you don't play meta here, you are only shooting yourself in the feet. So speaking of support, the meta for support composition right now, there's 3 combinations right now that is so popular in the current top level of play. You could play Ana Zen, you could play Mercy Ana, or you could play what's the last one? Mercy Ana Zen, and Lucio Ana. Right, not considering the Goats combinations where you run Lucio Moira. That's the 3 combinations of supports that you use for your dive comp for your 2-2-2.
Yeah,
so the problem here is I feel that the problem here is that XP is stuck in the past. Yeah, that's a bit strict, but I think they are stuck in the past. They're running Mercy Zen, and Mercy Zen is just not a combination of support you still want to run in the current meta.
There's a reason why Zen is actually the lowest of the low right now in terms of the support ladder. Apologies about that weird pause right there. Someone actually AFK. But anyway, this is what it is. Mercy Zen. The problem with Mercy right now is the fact that the Mercy has been neutered in terms of healing potential. And it just takes a lot longer to get the Valkyrie up. It takes a lot longer to just put everyone topped up. And it's just not enough anymore. You need the Ana for the bio grenade. You also need the nanny boost for that extra healing.
Point where if you're not running an Ana, you are literally shooting yourself in the feet. You're actually starting off just a little bit more disadvantage compared to the enemy team. So you could run, you definitely must run the Ana. The other support you run is up to you as a team to play what you want. So you could run the Lucio, you could run the Mercy, you could run the Zen, but your support, one of the support has to be the Ana. That's how strong Ana is right now.
Yeah, so it's now Ana and Flex support. It became from Mercy and Zen support, it became Ana and whoever you want to put in, and just the sniper. I love the fact that Ana is back, because Ana is one of the highest of the high in terms of skill level in the support group, higher than Mercy for sure, as well as Brigitte. So kudos to Blizzard to making such a small change matter in this situation. So in the meantime,
composition
the bad base game. Looking at the compositions, yeah, I'll let you have it, John.
So look at the compositions that R.W.G is running. They are running Ana +1, except that +1 is Moira, so it's a little bit of an awkward pick. And oh wow, so Widowmaker from R.W.G is going to make a pick on Cruzy. Out of fight, the better Widow always wins. A pure aim deuce right there. Out there you go, R.W.G pushing out XP back to their spawn.
As you're saying, the Moira feels like an odd pick, as you say, because they're running the dive. The Moira will struggle to actually chase after them. I would rather see a Moira Ana in a composition that has Reinhardt in it, or even Orisa. Just hold your ground, hold that left leg, and hope for a buy grenade there from the side of your Ana. In the meantime, R.W.G just winning out these fights in those 1v1 Widow duels, getting cruisy. This Widowmaker has been pretty good so far, using the sightlines and even the face of the hot glaring sun.
So Team XP once again playing a meta that's a little bit outdated, still very strong. 1.27 meta. This is the meta that you run 2 patches ago. The Widow and the Genji controlling the high ground and the sidelines, along with the Mercy and the Zen that has so much long range poke potential along with the heals. So self-destruct coming out from DJ Destiny.
Oh!
Will take out Widowmaker with Shun hunting down the backline, trying to cut out everyone in the backline, followed with Judge Transcendent as well.
Yeah, Fuzz now trying to turn this around. 2 kills going the way off the defense, but we now have Shun whipping out his old blade, gets Fatir. The focus fire from the 2 tanks, just not enough. Shun staying alive, finally gets a fist of Fury there from Hideyak, and he just jumps off into the side. R.W.G still not out of the woods yet, because Team XP still pouring on the pressure. DJ Destiny now gets Team X. It might be his destiny there to get taken down, and that could have been Team XP's to win, but R.W.G keeping headstrong, especially Hideyak staying in the fight.
Moira right now, I still don't know why they picked the Moira, but it definitely worked out for them, I guess. They went for the Coalescence, did get a focus upon, but when you are Moira and you get focused upon, that's a lot of resources to burn down a character that isn't your main healer, because you have an NR up and running. So even if you kill the Moira, you have your NR that's still shooting people, healing people, threatening to nano boost people, and turning them into the threat that you have to be careful of.
And interesting to note that R.W.G more or less just let them go past Car Wash because their composition a lot better up on top on the other side of the cavern, just getting the sightlines with Diana and just allowing the dive composition tanks to just go onto the backline. Alter Ego now takes down 2. They're still running this Mercy Zen, and this isn't working out. As we were saying, John, they need the Granny in this composition.
Yeah, one of the things that why it's not working out is because Judge is getting cut down again and again. There's very little that Judge can do when you face an NR grenade, you face the sniper, you face a Genji that is uncontested. So for them to win this composition, for them to win against the composition that R.W.G bring to the table, they have to start playing meta. Maybe play a Sombra, maybe play a Genji, or maybe Cruzy will have to start hitting a lot more shots. That's the burden of playing. That's the thing of when you play a slightly weaker comp. You need more mechanics to make deal with the weaker comp.
Yeah, it's a shooter, guys. Remember, if you can top everyone's heads, you can still win. But R.W.G has the discipline to not only pop heads, but cut Eminence's wings off the self-shock there, getting the D-Mech as well. And now Transcendence from Judged as the last moment to force out the engagement. Gravity Blade now comes out from Shun, gets the kill onto Fatir. Transcendence enabling him to stay alive, but now he has the Tesla Cannon in his face, trying to get the D-Mech onto the Alter Ego Diva Mech, but now Hideyak popping the Primal Rage, gets the kill onto Judge, reducing Tranquility into bits and pieces. Hideyak with this Winston has been one to watch in this fight. Subject still comes on now, Digi Destiny trying to cut a small hole into the gate, but it's not going to work out in their favor. The Widowmaker with another shot onto Eminence. The last minute Lucio could have used it a lot earlier in this game. DJ Destiny last to fall, and R.W.G with a full hold here on Gibraltar.
The amount of threats that R.W.G bring to the table is simply immense. You have to watch out for the NR grenade. You have to watch out for whoever will NR nano boost, and that could be the Winston. Winston will get from 70 damage per second all the way up to 120 damage per second. 100 damage per second just because of the nano boost. So you have an invincible Winston that does as much damage as a Xayah, as much as damage as a DPS. You have that Winston, you have the NR with the grenade, you have the Genji, you have the Widowmaker that is controlling the sunlight. There's too many threats right now, and to win this, you have to play meta. Play a combination of maybe Sombra and Genji, play for the EMP, control the high ground, and maybe you will stand a chance against the composition that R.W.G is bringing to the table.
Absolutely unfortunate here for Team XP, but they are not out of it yet. It always can happen. Everything can always happen here on Overwatch. You can somehow make a spawn camp here and just win out. It all depends on what they're gonna play. And is this for real? Are you really gonna whip this out in open division?
No, this is actually a meta strat in 1.27.
I know. The pocket pick here from Team XP. Eminence bringing out the Torbjorn. And I'm not saying he's trolling. I'm just surprised he whipped it out here and now.
So some history about this composition. This composition was first used, and not exactly this composition. Shun should be the Junkrat if it's the traditional composition, but it was first created by Element Mystic in the Korean Contender series, and it actually held. It actually full held. I can't remember which team, but it was a top level team. It was one of the top teams in its group, and it full held against that team because they run a Torbjorn, they run the Ana, they run the Junkrat, and they run the Weevil, which is exactly what Team XP is doing now. So interesting composition coming out. I really want to see whether they can make this work, because they will need nothing short of a full hole to win this fight.
The thing is, though, it's gonna be the Hanzo instead of the Junkrat. They all know the Hanzo is pretty strong with those arrows, but there's one thing the Junkrat brings to the table: the most fair and balanced ultimate in the game. The Riptire. And when the Riptire just gets into the middle of your team, somehow you're winning a fight and now you lost 4 in one fell swoop. The Torbjorn turret getting dived on. Eminence using that for ult charge, already at 20%, and he's gonna reset here, putting it in the backline. Viguro gonna try his best to protect this.
But the Junkrat is not as strong as the Hanzo here, because the Junkrat also brings concussion mines that will allow you to protect the turret every single time the Winston jumps the turret. You also have the mines which you can put underneath the turret, so if Winston jumps the turret and successfully make the jump, you get trapped on top of the turret, on top of the mine. But it looks like it's working right now. Hida will take out Shun, the Hanzo off XP.
Oh,
he DJ Destiny will also D-Mac.
And this is gonna allow R.W.G to just dive on in. Perfect sleep dart onto the Ariza. Fuds gets killed onto Eminence, cutting the Torbjorn down the side. But that's literally taking an inch away from the heals as R.W.G take the win in absolute dominant fashion.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. The Hanzo doesn't bring anything to the table. He is a threat, sure, but it makes your team very, very fragile, especially when you're already running such a fragile composition where you run 3 DPS, run the Junkrat, have the concussion mines, have the mines, and of course have the Riptire, and it just brings so much more to the table.
R.W.G, Hideyak getting player of the game. He was an absolute fulcrum point in that corner. It was literally a gorilla nest there from Hideyak. And what is that? 9 jump back kills. He squished 9 people. Is this King Kong or something? I don't even know why I'm watching anymore. Donkey Kong, Hideyak. So welcome guys to our game number 3, and we're just gonna get onto it already. Really excited here for this third map, and this might be the one that Team XP can take. This is gonna be all amounts to whatever discipline both teams have instilled with their lineups. We'll see if R.W.G can take the 3-0 victory in our best of 5, or will Team XP force out a game number 4. So I'm your host Daks, and joining me is JohnGalt. And John, this might be the nail in the coffin here for our boys in red.
Oh, so this is... Alright, I'm so sorry. I'm so excited every single time I see a composition that is both recent and a top composition in its time, right? So it's a composition that maybe has only been attempted maybe in the last 2-3 weeks, and because it shows that the team has been doing the research, it shows that the coach has been doing the research, it shows that they know their stuff. So coming up from R.W.G, at the start we saw a 3-10 composition, and USA were last seen, Canada were last, USA were last seen using it, but before USA used it, right, it was seen in the Korean playoffs, having the 3 tanks, Winston, Diva, and Hammond allow for a very powerful dive even without a DPS, but they decided to switch out of that, which made me a little bit disappointed, and they switched into a second Metacon. They are now playing the Sombra and Genji and the Lucio and Ana, another composition that's meta in open division. And I've been casting with you, Daks, for the last couple of weeks, and I will have to say that R.W.G seems to be a team that knows their stuff. This is a team that knows their stuff, so I'd like to meet their coach at the very least. But yeah, great composition coming out from R.W.G here.
I mean, you speak Chinese anyway, you probably got this. But anyway, let's go into our game. We're gonna be R.W.G on the first defense, layouts already. And on the other hand, interesting, Team XP running the more or less classic dive, except the trad dive. It's out. The Lucio, however, gonna be on the Mercy. And it really goes to show, these guys don't like the Lucio very much. They like these slower supports. Having the Eminence Mercy as well as the Judge Zenyatta has been their bread and butter, but Viguro has to back away, sees the Sombra, and he knows he's more or less powerless to stop the hack from coming in.
And I like this thing because it looks like it's the old versus the new. So Hida getting Vigoro, gets traded out with Kuzi, does get Shake Them, and that means that Shake Them will have to make the very slow walk back from the spawn. So while it does look like R.W.G is capping out the point, there might be an opportunity for them to get a quick fight before the Ana actually gets back.
Well, honestly, what happened there was, as DJ Destiny, they're getting staggered. What happened there was, it was R.W.G capitalizing on the fact that the supports didn't have the sightlines there in that small corner. The Mercy and the Zenyatta couldn't actually properly get the heals. On the other hand, the tanks leapt onto Shake him, getting the bio grenade onto them, the anti-heal in effect. And Fitir, of course, just needs sight of you, and he'll be able to heal you up. R.W.G playing to their element pretty strongly.
I have so much expectation. I have such a high expectation for R.W.G now. As we come up to EMP and Dragon Blade, I would want to see them utilize that in a clean engage to see exactly how it's done. We both of the casters here. We want to see how it's done, and now the EMP come out. They don't have the bomb, however, but they will be followed up just by Winston and of course Swift Strikes everywhere.
It's called hard mechanical skill. Forcing a fight without ultimates makes it like an older shooter instead. R.W.G, perfect focus fire as well onto Judge. You saw how fast he died. When you pop the EMP, the Zenyatta has 50 HP, and he died in like, what, 0.25 seconds. I literally half blinked, and I already saw Judge dead before my eyes closed. So R.W.G right now waiting for an opportunity to strike. They have 5 ultimates in the arsenal. On the other hand, XP trying to get that magic number of 6. Figura though spotting out the Sombra. And this is going to be a matchup. The Tracer doesn't really want to fight. Gets the pulse bomb onto the floor. Sadly doesn't get the stick. And then it's going to be a Dragon Blade force on that, as well as Transcendence from the side of Team XP. Fuzz with his own Sandbar comes out as well as a Nano Blade, and Fuzz staying alive against the self-destruct thanks to the effects of the Ana ultimate. But for now, R.W.G fighting onto the point. Team XP trying to bring it at them. Cruzy has the Primal Rage, will pop it and gets the kill onto Shake him. Gonna shake the corpse of Diana instead. Fitir trying to jump away in fear of the Angry Monkey, and Cruzy finally calming down, has a test cannon instead. The point being taken here by Team XP, but Alter Ego this time with that Diva getting some kills the way of R.W.G.
Look at R.W.G, look at how they play out of the point, back into point, and just ping-pong the aggression of Team XP. Because they're always darting in and out of the point, they're not taking that much damage, while at the same time being able to contest the point throughout of Team XP attempt to target down someone, attempt to kill someone.
Really smart play from them. Look how much XP has made. Very little progress, and Hideyak with 2. Bagura finally getting a pulse bomb onto Fitir, but Alter Ego, the tank play from R.W.G has been absolutely exceptional. Because of a little bias there, because I can't say one of the DPS's names, but just Hideyak. I've honestly drawn a lot to his Winston play. Proper Primal Rage timing is really good positioning with his own body as well. So this
beautiful rotations from beautiful rotation coming out from R.W.G from both the tanks and the DPS, going in, pulling out, just managing the aggression so well. So Team XP, this is Team XP final attempt, and they have a Lucio and a Brigitte. This is actually the most meta composition I've seen from XP, and I'll speak of why in a bit.
But might this be too little late? Shake him gets a kill on the Shun, gets rid of the Dragon Blade in the equation, dashing the hopes of Team XP to be able to get a cut above. Cruzy gets taken down. DJ Destiny with the Baby Diva. It's gonna be an inficide there, as now Alter Ego with the kill onto his sister. Eminence too far away to even go for the contest, and R.W.G one tick away from victory and pretty much a securance on the Open Division Pacific playoffs.
I'm so impressed by their play right now, Daks. I mean, I did look at their SR, and they were 3.8k, so that might have been why. I mean, I'll just be brutally honest here. Mechanics and SR does count for something. So looking at R.W.G players, their execution is actually top notch. This is a team that I'll expect to be, 8-1, 9-1, and easily in the top 5, top 6, top 8 of the Open Division scene. But they have lost their 2 matches. They have lost 2 matches. I'm sure they were not forfeits, and that's where SR mechanics does come into play a little bit. Because if you're a 3.8k team and you do fight like a 4.2k team, you're just gonna be a little bit you're just gonna be a little less efficient with your ultimates. But fighting against XP, a team whose SR is similar to R.W.G, we really see their intent, their execution, and their compositions actually being brought to light. This is beautiful plays by R.W.G right here, regardless of SR, regardless of expectations. It's just beautiful play, both compositional and execution wise.
And the thing about the format of the tournament, the Swiss format, showing its stuff, they are going to be able to have these kind of games. R.W.G is always eking it out. It's just one of those situations where the scoreline makes it a little worse for wear. The 2-0 looks really bad, especially with 3-0. But Team XP wasn't a slouch in the series, and still will try to prove that they can force out the draw in this one. Gonna have a Brigitte here from Judge Cruzy on the Orisa, and gonna be more or less a 1.5 healer, as I like to say. When you have the Brigitte and just one real support, It's gonna be a very, very engaging composition here from Team XP. They have to fight with the Brigitte. And Alter Ego, gonna have your favorite, the Hammond is gonna be into play.
Yes, Hammond, Sombra, Doomfist, Winston. These people read my mind. This is a great composition to play into the Orisa composition. So compositionally, once again, R.W.G has the upper hand. They will look. Hammond will go all the way to the back. Will be looking for a power driver, converging with the Winston all the way on the right side. So let's see whether they will get the execution that they so desperately
no, Alter
need.
Ego.
So Hammond,
He hit the wall and he gets trapped up. This is a terrible day for the hamster. It's like Conker's bad for a day there, but it's gonna be Hammond's bad for a day instead. Shun with the takedown. I can say that, it's an old game. Don't worry.
on my mind, I was smiling, and then my smile slowly disappeared as I see Alter Ego hit the wall and stop the dive.
Yeah, it's like one of those crane games. It just doesn't work out in your favor. But in the meantime, R.W.G bringing it back. Alter Ego having a second chance, gets rid of Cruzy. The Doof is just flying around. Here comes Fuzz, uppercut on the DJ Destiny. Evan still tries to keep DJ Destiny up and alive. Shun also really low, being topped up by the Mercy. Finally gets taken down by Fitz here. This Lucio bringing in the beats and the beat down. CFP now comes on out from the Sombra of R.W.G. And here we go with a team wipe. Can they make it, Big Loro? Can they make it? Oh no, the Big Loro taking a nap, and Fitz here able to take him down. Here comes Cruzy as well as Judge, but this is gonna be a last-ditch effort. The Winston trying to fly back to the moon. Afraid of all this. The Riptire comes on out, but that's gonna be the game. End the series. R.W.G with the win, 3-0.
So many crazy moments in that fight. The Widow getting slapped, and then Lucio trying to wall ride his way out to kill Baguro's Widowmaker. Just 1 HP there, like couple of HP. I don't even know how much, but it's a couple of HP. POTG deservingly so by Hidayat, all the way from getting judged, bouncing on the wall, transiting for the Lucio, taking on the Lucio out on fire as well. It's beautiful play by Hidayat all around. And not the mechanics per se, since as a Winston, you know, you don't really need to aim much, but positionings, jump pack kills, all these means a lot to a Winston player. So it's a beautiful play by R.W.G.